Hey, Paladins fans, welcome back to the Evie's Winter Classic Finals here on Sunday afternoon in Alpharetta, Georgia at Hi-Rez Studios. My name is Rain Day, and this is Hi-Rez Pretty Hair, and we have got some great action. Semifinals coming up on both sides of the bracket for you. Matchpoint and Xenosy will be where we get to first, but before we do that, Nick, we've got a couple of things. Giveaways, and some more giveaways. A lot of variety for what we've given away. 800 crystals will be yours if you use !giveaway in Twitch chat and take that link that it provides you from MoveBot and go ahead and follow and put your information there. And of course in YouTube, take it out of the description, put it in the browser, and you should be set to go. But what is that? How many? What?
It's just in.
It's just in? Wait, actually, can I get a confirmation? Oh my God, Nick, this can't be right. 130 Radiant chests just given away for free? How can they get this voodoo magic? Is Black Magic, is Maldamba over there working the computer system? What is going on, man? Making it rain. And I love it. You guys can be a part of that action there if you go ahead and link your Twitch account and your Hi-Rez account. That's what you need to do right now so you can not miss out on all of this stuff we're just throwing your way. So make sure you go ahead and do that. And if you don't know how to do that, it's hirezstudios.com/link, and you follow the instructions there. Now, without further ado, it's time to go, man. We've got this game coming up. Matchpoint going to be on the table again.
Back to the action here. Matchpoint versus Xenosy will be the first semifinal matchup that we are spectating, but we are also going to watch Team Eager versus Astral Authority down there at the bottom of the bracket. That's the one I'm waiting to watch. I mean, if we saw Bear 2 taking a first point off of Matchpoint, what could Xenosy do? A much more dominant team coming out of the Evie's Winter Classic open bracket phase.
That's right. And so Xenosy looking to assert that they can, like Astral Authority, climb over some of these champion circuit teams, but they've got the big dogs ahead of them. Ice Mines taken away from Matchpoint again, and Timbermill banned out by Xenosy. So Fish Market, we will start where we ended the last set as we head into the champion draft.
First pick for Matchpoint versus Xenosy will be given to Xenosy. Have they done their homework? Do they know what they want to take away? Have they listened to us telling them they can't take enough away from Matchpoint?
Exactly.
Evie locked in first time for Xenosy.
I don't mind that at all. I mean, it changes it up. Matchpoint, they're going to have to play against Evie again, though. For Matchpoint, this is kind of just running back the same thing. They know how to deal with it. You talked about how they're so good at countering her out of the ice block with the awareness they have as a champion circuit team. And it seems like Evie, though, still a high priority for some teams in North America.
Watching the previous series, seeing how impactful the Bow Bros have been, Shaolin and Cassie going to be the next two selected for Matchpoint.
And I like that. I like that.
Stolzey and doesupz.
Yeah, I like that Shaolin's getting introduced. We haven't seen Matchpoint play a lot of Shaolin, so I do like that he's coming into their radar as well. You got to expect the tank to come through here for WarDoom after Makoa and Androxus selected. They take away stolzey's Androxus. Stolzey like to play Evie as well. Stolzey could play just about anything. I mean, I would be surprised to see Stolzey pick Sky in this game, to be honest, man.
Yeah.
He might just throw a curve on everybody. I know chat would love that, but they're going to keep it safe here and go with Fernando Maldamba. Get the healer and the tank and kind of flex pick that last damage or flank.
Could be heading back. Still needing a healer is Xenosy if they elect to go for that. Heavy on the flank side right now. Decent damage split between Blast Shield and Haven, taking their time with this one. Notable pick still on the board. Gonna be Ying, but Kinessa coming through on Fishing Village and Drogos as well. So they saw how well that worked in the previous set. Astral Authority and AGG, their Kinessa shutting down Rude's Drogos almost entirely. Matchpoint gonna round this out with the book. The perfect answer, I feel, to that Kinessa.
Really good answer to Kinessa on this map particularly. On other maps like Ice Mines, you mentioned, Buck kind of hits his head.
Yeah,
a lot of like high corridors and places for him to kind of bump his head on. But now with the open spaces of Fish Market, he is gonna have a field day with his Kinessa. If I know anything about Kusqt's Buck. Now on Matchpoint, you see Stolzey there. He's going to be playing Cassie. WarDoom will be on the Fernando. Kusqt on the Buck. Grabbing Master Riding, wants to start things off quick. Smidgen will be on the Maldamba. And doesupz on Shaolin.
Tooney will be playing Androxus. SuhhhKyle going to be on Kinessa for Xenosy. Cacanuck on Evie. Exalotus on Makoa and tinyFetus. Rounding things out for Xenosy on Drogos. 2 Havens coming out. SuhhhKyle knows Kusqt is coming straight for him. 3 Master Ridings for Matchpoint. 1 Cauterize for Stolzey. And yet another Master Riding, this time on Smidgen.
SuhhhKyle used to be a member of Matchpoint, and he knows the boys very well, and now he's going to look to snipe them as they head down this corridor, but he's in a very dangerous position. I love this line of sights. I take this quite often as Kness, and now he's going to use the transporter because he realizes Buck is right behind him, and Kusqt already getting the better of SuhhhKyle, saying, "Saw, dude," with a huge shotgun to the face. And now Tooney will slay down Kusqt. He's a very, very good Androxus player. Nick and I both experienced that, but can he match stolzey? It doesn't seem like that. Exalotus and Tooney go down thanks to the #1 player in North America, as he self-proclaims. In the world. As he proclaims. And guess what? Matchpoint, they're playing just like it. 1-0, easy capture, 1 minute and 40 seconds off the clock for them.
stolzey has a very simple mantra in which he lives his life by. Hold W and make hot plays.
Hot plays only, bro.
Always hold W, always left click. We see never retreat, always holding W, continuing to hold W. Little A and D thrown in there, finally brought down for it.
SuhhhKyle actually is really countered, I think, by this lineup. Not only the invisibility of doesupz, who gets taken down by SuhhhKyle because of the height advantage there that he's got, being able to jump and snipe.
Nice.
But just by the Fernando, the pressure he can apply in the back line. The Buck, the pressure he can apply. And as WarDoom continues to move forward with this team and chase down those backline targets, he's opening up so much space for Buck to leap in from behind and follow up. Tooney is there with the Androxus. A reversal could come out, but Cacanuck already there to support him, and a nice shot from Kusqt. Just the awareness. He gets extra 100 damage, doesn't matter much, but stolzey comes in after the cleanup. It's like you send one out and you give one away, and Tooney, he might finish this off. He will. I told you, this guy's got an Androxus to watch out for.
Kusqt gonna shut him down, but it doesn't matter. The push continuing to roll the entire time. Didn't hit the brakes once, was Matchpoint, all living by stolzey's mantra, always holding W there. Just under 3 minutes, they're able to find that conversion. Master Ridings 2 coming through for WarDoom. That it's worth noting how quick of a round that was. So they may not even be able to afford most of their level 2 cards, having to go with another level 1. stolzey the only one able to purchase that cauterized 2.
Nick, you know what's so interesting? We've seen there's a video of Matchpoint using Master Riding on this map. They can take a very special route. I mean, that could happen, dude.
It might. We saw basically the line of sight that Knessa used in the start of the round. If you have Master Riding 3, you can make that jump all the way. It's I don't know. It's not that useful. It's really funny. It's cool to watch, but I don't know that they're going to commit that many credits just to be trolls.
They may not, but they've already gone tier 2 for that to be able to get the extra speed. And with stolzey's reveal, so important when you have snipers like Shaolin on your squad. It is going to make all the difference. Buck knows exactly where the Knessa is as well. That's probably one of the more impactful uses of it. And Tooney, he's going to get focused down. So will Cacanuck on the Evie. In the air again, just always shooting. There's the windup, but it's caught in the reversal. stolzey slays Exalotus, but where is Tooney? He's still alive, fighting against Buck. Kusqt gets the better end of the trade. stolzey, doesupz cleans up another, and 72% and counting. A full sweep by Matchpoint, looking to make this 3-0.
And they get it done. Kusqt's so deep right now, just trying to dismount people. If he dies at this stage of the game, doesn't really matter. The objective is going to be captured through already. Needs to get out, but Cacanuck punishes him for the overextension. Like we mentioned, though, not the biggest of deals, because all he was setting out to do was just to dismount Xenosy, increase that time it takes for them to get back to the point, so they had no hope in contesting this capture point.
Hope is something they will need. A new hope, in fact, one that has not worked previously for them. A great fireball by WarDoom as he peeks in and out of the corridors, looks to find another target. He sees some back lines low. He knows Cacanuck is there, expects the wormhole, and it does happen. And so Tooney getting forced out again, and this Fernando just doing such a good job. He's going to be the focus. WarDoom with the charge, escapes the prey, and WarDoom helps Kusqt to follow up onto tinyFetus. And Tooney is left taking down stolzey for the 2nd time in this match, running away, but with his teammates dead for it.
That mantra still holding W is Matchpoint. Here comes the Ice Storm to try and get some sort of stall for Xenosy. They can get it for now. Respawns have coming through. First pick going to go to WarDoom. They're able to answer back, too, on the Matchpoint have now fallen.
Nice plays by Cacanuck as well. The confused doesupz. doesupz tried to get a little bit of extra damage, turned around, knew that she was going to shoot wormhole back. The planet doesn't come through. Buck's still here. And we feel like, Nick, this should be where overtime ticks in. But no, there's 1 minute and 5 seconds left on the clock. Matchpoint have done so well getting it to the very edge. And with Kusqt still there, shotgun sniping as usual, he's keeping them low and in combat.
Yeah, in combat, I think, is the big point there. So they're not going to get that regeneration. And now, most of Matchpoint is now returned. Heat Haze is popped. They're ready to get in on this one. That stuff going to make it so difficult for doesupz to be seen. He's hiding inside of his own terracotta armor.
This is a big one, and there is the Ancient Rage. Makoa, not so cuddly anymore. A nice slither away. Tooney with the Accursed Arm misses all of them. I cannot believe Tooney missed those shots, and he pays the ultimate price. stolzey with a double. doesupz finally slays tinyFetus, and Exalotus here on a rock on an island by himself. That will be the game for Matchpoint 4-0. Real easy for them.
Sub 10-minute pace set by the big dogs. Gonna have to go back to the drawing board if Xenosy want to stand a chance against Matchpoint. 15-3 for stolzey, 28,000 damage. Beat out only by doesupz on the Shaolin. The desert win there. A lot of credit scores. Not a lot to be talked about here. Just a dominant performance from the best team in the world.
Yep, that's right. And they're not having anyone counter that statement. And you can make it. Just be aware that, you know what, if you do get countered one day, you know, it's not going to be fun. But if you can continually back it up, you're right, Nick. I mean, just keep saying it. Because no one's stopping them right now. And in North America, again, that's been the tale of the story for this entire year. No one in NA has stopped them. So Frozen Guard will be the second map. And let's head to the champion draft now and see which team select.
Both brothers had a big impact on that game, shutting down the Drogos, giving Evie some troubles there.
Yeah.
A lot of burst damage potential, even on Androxus. Tooney only finding the better of stolzey's Cassie one time in that set. Going to be the first pick again. Cassie really, really prioritized here, almost the Evie of NA, I would say.
It's a great flex pick for them. doesupz can pick it up. You see stolzey can pick it up and do just tremendous things with it. It gives both of their carries, because of the variability they have in their champion pool, to have flexibility in the farther parts of the draft. I love the pick.
Yep, Evie Makoa going to be the answer once again. So far, the run back in the drafting phase. This is going to be a best of 5 now that it is a semifinal match, so that is worth noting. This is not going to be match point for Matchpoint. Maldamba.
Set point for Matchpoint.
Going to be the second selection. Getting that one early on the table. That's going to be a pretty contested pick. Throughout the day, Maldamba's really come into his own. Shaolin, the Bow brother, going to complete that one.
Now, with taking Maldamba, Matchpoint
now
have their
they
healer.
Can get Canessa.
And now, here is the question. They can grab it, but this is great. This is great, Nick, because they have to grab a healer. You would think Xenosy would need a healer here, and Matchpoint already have that. And so they know they can actually grab Canessa, but Evie's there, and they probably won't do it. But this is where we saw in previous matches, you can kind of force something out, knowing that they have to go healer here and not something like Tank Shred, which is what Fernando and Ruckus are going to need in order to be dealt with. Forcing them into a difficult spot, because who else is going to take down those shields? That's right.
They are in a rough spot, like you mentioned. They are going to go with the Drogos.
And that's why you pick it like that. It's so powerful.
Sort of picked into a no-healer situation. 3 flanks picked up as well. This is going to be tough. I mean, it's the correct pick, I feel, in this situation, but it's going to be a tough comp to execute.
Yeah.
Because Matchpoint, they see all the flanks being picked up, and Matchpoint's like, cool, we're just going to pick up a bunch of tanks and sit on the point.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, there's going to be
I dare you to come in here.
Seriously, and tinyFetus, you know, he knows how to play Drogos. We mentioned Tooney, a very good player mechanically as well. We've had some fantastic games against them, just even in casuals. And Exalotus is a great Makoa who loves that pick. But Smidgen, doesupz, Kusqt, stolzey, WarDoom on Matchpoint, looking to really flesh out this huge lineup they have with those tanks.
Yeah, and the items coming out, doesupz. Gonna grab that Chronos first, keep that roll cooldown smooth as he's able to roll around the flight, leveraging bonus damage, delivering lifesteal, all things that come off the back of Cassie's first shot out of dodge roll. stolzey gonna get that Heat Haze online ASAP. Rocky going for the morale boost. WarDoom gets that master riding. He will be the first to reach the point.
Kusqt with the noodle build, though, it seems. At least going for deft hands in terms of itemized priority. And look at this already. SuhhhKyle takes down stolzey, who was on the Shaolin, and he just finds him and takes him down in the grass. But Smidgen is on the point. He's going to fall as well. Exalotus with a great hook out of Ruckus, and all of this flanking pressure has worked because they've taken down the targets they needed to take down, and they're able to aggress onto the point. 42% onto Matchpoint, but this is a problem. They have not taken down doesupz. They finally do, but it's wasted a lot of time, and stolzey's already back.
I feel as though Matchpoint played that into Xenosy's hands a little bit. stolzey was very spread out. He was all the way off in a corner by himself. He gets picked off. It seems like the theory with Matchpoint's draft is they want to group up, they want to clump on the point.
Oh, yeah.
Like they are doing now, force Xenosy to fight on the point where these flanks aren't going to be that strong, where that mobility isn't going to be so much of a factor. And Matchpoint can use all of their mitigation on this Cassie, on this Shaolin. Think about the damage reduction that could come out from Shaolin being implanted with a repulsor field. That is just such a scary thought.
Oh, man. What? And especially if he builds Wind Wall. I'm not sure what stolzey has in his loadout, but the ability for him to even reduce that further could be impactful. And now the objective captured for Matchpoint, looking like more of the same against Xenosy here on Frozen Guard. Fernando trapped in with a turtle. Look at them. They're both kind of facing each other off here like we're in a wrestling match and seeing which one's going to go for the grapple first. But it seems that they relent and fall back to their respective teams as 2 minutes and 10 seconds are on the clock for this push.
Hooked in is Smidgen right now, but caught in a rough spot is going to be Drogos. Not being able to use that booster, he's going to be melted to the ground. WarDoom credited with that one. stolzey grabs SuhhhKyle from long range, finds Exalotus as well. Trying to just get out and survive right now is going to be Tooney's buck.
Oh yeah, doesupz slays Cacanuck before he can even think about it. And this is what Kusqt wants. He is not going to be that type of Moldamba that sits back and only heals. Kusqt is going to be using that stun aggressively. He pops the Heat Ace. I love it in response. Rampage for stolzey. Is he going to get another? The Dragon's Fury falls to the Desert Wind's precision. A triple kill for stolzey. He wants a quadra. Planted came out too late. Tooney shuts him down, but Smidgen is here to clean up the business, and a double kill for him will allow Matchpoint to, in less than 3 minutes and 30 seconds, create a 2-0 lead again over Xenosy.
Looking at some of these items coming out, stolzey leading the damage charts by just a narrow margin over tinyFetus' Drogos right now. Xenosy forced to kind of pick up these master ridings here just to compete with WarDoom and with Smidgen. Getting to the point first is not what you want to give up on a front line heavy team. They're going to be able to control that space. Frozen Guard, especially so, is a very tight control point oriented. There's some long line of sights if you're able to get it out there, but they don't really have anyone to abuse these long line of sights. Buck, Androxus, Evie, Drogos, those aren't characters that do super well from far lane. You got no fall off on Evie or Drogos, but it's very difficult to hit. They want to get in there, use that blink and that fire spit to pressure people out.
That's exactly what they want, but will they get it? stolzey takes the same spot, Nick, and this time goes into planted preemptively. I like the decision there. There's a very low Androxus. He doesn't see him yet, though. The reversal is caught, and there's Tooney. Here's the windup, and that will secure stolzey real easy. Goes down the exact same way he did prior. WarDoom still alive, getting healed up from a distance by the Moldamba. Kusqt with the stun helps to delay some of the aggression, but SuhhhKyle, he wants the kill onto his former teammates, and he will find it. 2 for SuhhhKyle, and doesupz will finally clean him up, but Tooney will slay doesupz, and 75% on the board for Xenosy.
Trying to get back. I feel like they did, Matchpoint sort of did it again where they spread out a little bit too much and got picked off. stolzey, very vulnerable target to a lot of these flankers. Needs to be very careful about his positioning. Heading in, Xenosy going to give Matchpoint the hands in that last fight. They're taking the first point, putting themselves on the board 2-1. Matchpoint, though, still in a position to benefit from that defense point. They're going to need to hold here, lest Xenosy tie things up.
Yeah, it's hard to criticize, players who just do so many good things mechanically, but decision-wise, I'm a little flustered as to why stolzey kept choosing that position in the right bush. It seems like SuhhhKyle had him baited out. He knew exactly where he would be. Tooney was ready to jump onto him, and it just didn't seem like it was that effective to continue to do it.
I agree with you on that one. Being caught out in a corner without your planet as well. He got his planet baited out fairly early as well, was brought down for it, but Matchpoint showing there's still the strong arm in this matchup here. A couple of fadeaway pastrani shots is all that will be remembered by Kusqt. Evie gonna bait out the burst combo from Cassie, not finding the mark on that one. Heat Haze available for Shaolin, but Matchpoint largely on the back foot at this point in time.
But this is a great place for them with Shaolin. This is going to be important. SuhhhKyle slays doesupz, but can he get stolzey? WarDoom there, great job with the Immortal. He will stay alive just for the time being. The Dragon's Fury used onto stolzey, and so no long line of sights to worry about at the moment with the sniper down. doesupz will be respawning here, and that is imperative for them to be able to find some projectile damage over distance to thwart this continued pressure by Xenosy. And Tooney guarding and near the payload, using these beautiful lines of sights, but he cannot outplay, it seems, the buck. But look at this. He does get taken down by the Cassie, and she wins that one.
Rolling out now, just finding this is what the Chronos is picked up for. You see the fluidity of this build, how it can just completely move around the battlefield like poetry. That is what the Chronos allows for. The Incitement card will reduce that cooldown of the dodge roll on Cassie by 4 seconds, but it is the Chronos that really gets that fluid motion going. 23 seconds remaining on the push. Matchpoint just looking to hold, not let anyone get back here. Xenosy trying to prevent that from happening. They're going for the scenic route flank here around this left side.
And again, they have such fantastic play there together as a unit and in this zone. You know, all so far, she's fighting one person up close and shooting afar and causing so much damage. The roll will take place, and Exalotus will go down faster than he knows it. They've got to get something off of this while Exalotus is being burned down. He gets out of the fight safely, but not before Smidgen can't connect him. Cacanuck trying to find doesupz, misses the blast shot, but in the air, Cacanuck slays the Hunter's Daughter, and now it is really up to Smidgen here. Perfect time to Hexafire, one would think, but the team doesn't seem to call for it. A Fernando shield will keep him alive for now, and the damage will be enough to put him in a bad spot. Overtime ticking away, and Heat Haze popped by stolzey.
Cursed Arm still available. Here's Kusqt, or Tooney with the Buck Wild, finds stolzey immediately. doesupz answering back, trading out kill for kill. Both teams right now trying to find haven shelter from this Accursed Arm. So close. Here comes the Hexafire with the Fernando peel, but SuhhhKyle shuts it down. He's able to get Smidgen as well, and Xenosy tied things up.
SuhhhKyle with the BM throws the revolver up and the hand behind the back, saying, yeah, we used to play together, but right now my team needs to take this 2-0 back. And they tie things up 2-2, Nick, and Matchpoint scratching their heads a little bit.
The big thing there is they just got Hexafire as well for nothing. There was a big commitment there from Matchpoint defensively in terms of using the Heat Haze and the Dread Serpent. Immortal was used not too long ago. That's at 76%. Won't be up immediately for this fight, but the Hexafire came out as well as the Fernando shield. It's a good look. It's a great synergy in terms of play, but SuhhhKyle just had the angle, and WarDoom was extremely low. Taken down and punished was Matchpoint.
And again, this beginning fight is where it matters. Androxus, even with those reindeer antlers looking like a serial killer at his prime, is not going to be able to do much if they can keep stolzey alive. But tinyFetus slays WarDoom in the process, and Exalotus slays stolzey again. A double kill for tinyFetus, and this is looking like it's going the exact same way. The positioning for Matchpoint has continued to be poor at the start of these rounds, but given that, it is still 30 to 36%, and that's not bad for losing like that.
tinyFetus doing a great job on this Drogoz. Dragon Punch, finding one kill, and then immediate fire spit pressure, landing those rockets post-thrust, just hitting like a truck. 75% reads the capture progress for Xenosy. Great hook on the Smidgen. Double advance in the opposite direction, however, is going to cancel most of that out, but it's getting close to the wire here.
Buck going down could be huge. This could be the snowball they needed, and it is. Look, Buck goes down. WarDoom, Smidgen, stolzey take it. Great positioning, flanking on the flank. Cacanuck will go down. WarDoom was ready for it. And that means that Matchpoint, given the 30% they had earlier on, even after losing the first fight, win the second fight and claim victory here with a 3-2 lead on Frozen Guard.
They're aware. Oh, that could have been a big fireball there, negated by Shell Shield. But Matchpoint, a veteran team, knowing how valuable each tick of that capture point can be, they're able to stay on there for a little bit. That 30% made all the difference. 2 minutes remains on this push. Trying to get things rolling right now is Matchpoint.
So that's why I like Nick. stolzey didn't even look for the wormhole. He knew Cacanuck was not going to stay there. He just kept his eyes on where she was. And now it seems like he does have to look at SuhhhKyle, although he gets down two of his teammates, stolzey and doesupz, two huge things. Kusqt is still alive, a noodle in the air, and he's going to get another one while he falls. Kusqt with the fattest noodles in Paladins, baby. I told you he's not sitting in the back line. He's getting after it. He goes for a noodle again on the Cacanuck. He hits it. He gets another one. Kusqt is out of control right now, and he still has his ultimate online.
Just throwing one. Grandpa Kusqt showing him how it's done, serving it up hot and fresh. It's all about that orange serpent right now, punishing everyone. One of the highest skill ceiling characters here. Maldamba landing those hit scan heals, more noodles for everyone. Nobody on Xenosy has picked up a resilience, but they might consider it after what just happened to them.
You get a noodle, you get a noodle, you get a noodle, and I'm gonna give you more. Get your carbohydrates, boy. Mama knows you need to eat. And Kusqt coming in with the so beautiful plays from Maldamba, making us in the commentary studio just go crazy here. Production is living, and we are all amazed at what we are seeing. Kusqt just showing the power of the noodle build.
And still, they weren't able to take that fight. Interestingly enough, Matchpoint still not given the edge. Smidgen takes down one with Ruckus, moves out with that emitter popped to try and get something done. 4,400 HP is very healthy. WarDoom moving in now as well. Stolzey getting kills. All of Matchpoint, this is what they do. All of a sudden, they just pull the rug out from under you and get that momentum spiked up once again.
I mean, you cannot talk about what it feels like to get noodled out of the air as a Drogos, and it's just something that you can't come back from. Your mentality is shaken at that point. You have nightmares about noodles when you sleep, and he knows that Kusqt, wherever he's not paying attention, is somehow going to come up and throw that stun onto him, and that is what has changed here. They've been playing the same way. Kus just started going out of his mind, and now Matchpoint are this close to winning the game. Tooney could be going down here. The great advance in anticipation of the Evie ult helps to save Smidgen's life. Although he goes down, it will look like, unless something incredible can happen, Xenosy will get their bearings and hold this defense to send it to 3-3.
3-3 it is, and a lot of ultimate commitment out of Matchpoint there. They don't have a single ultimate available to them. Xenosy, if they play this well, can win this game off of Matchpoint. So close on the Dragon Punch, sitting at about 70%. Accursed Arm is available. Buck Wild is nearly there. They had to commit the Ice Storm and the Ancient Rage to hold that defense guaranteed, but SuhhhKyle on this Xenosy. Cauterize 3 now online. Going to be leading the damage charts by almost 10,000.
That's a lot of damage.
It is.
That's a good amount of damage, but you know what they need to do, Nick? It's positioning. That first fight has always gone the way of Xenosy. That has been the consistent theme. And now, can we follow along with Kus to see how he goes and supports his teammates on that Maldamba? Where will he be for Matchpoint to help keep his teammates alive and create this stun pressure that he's been creating? That's one onto Evie on the point, forcing the ice block already. Will Cacanuck go down? Stolzey slays Exalotus, and SuhhhKyle will slay Stolzey again. He's looking for the noodle one more time. He keeps his man alive. Mending Spirits. Noodle so much amazing awareness of this game by Kusqt, just being able to anticipate where people are going, heal his teammates, just keeping 2, 3, 4 things on his mind at all times, but that will not save his team from going down now 60% to 15%. They are losing, they're actually in the lead, but losing the objective now.
Big misplay from tinyFetus. They're overextending, not finding a kill with Dragon Punch. Matchpoint clean him up. They're heading back to the point now with a man advantage. Getting a little bit too excited. They're poked out so low as Xenosy. SuhhhKyle needs one more shot to be taken down. Cacanuck Evie trying to find the shot onto doesupz. Stolzey opens things up, taking down Tooney, and Matchpoint at 96% are in the driver's seat.
And there's the Sunday we gonna to clear it out. The Hex of Fire on the running away Androxus. Double kill for Smidgen, and it looks like Kusqt fittingly gets the final kill of this game onto none other than the dragon in the skies, bringing him down to his level here on the ground with those noodles, those snakes. So effective when that poison hits.
I gotta say though, that was a lot closer than I thought it would be, given that 2-0 at the start. Xenosy answers back with the capture and conversion of their own. It felt like it took until that 3-3 situation for the positioning to adjust out of Matchpoint. We saw Stolzey fighting on the point alongside his teammates that time, and it worked out much better for him. He did get cleaned up, but he was able to stay alive, find a lot more damage, a lot more presence in that fight. And I just feel as though that fight went so much better for Matchpoint in a whole, because you were mentioning they did lose almost every fight out of the gate in all 3 rounds prior.
Yeah, every single round, but they had the awareness. You know, WarDoom and Smidgen working together as a team were able to get that early advantage and then be able to take the fight after the fight and be able to go ahead and get the stuff that they need. Now, moving into the maps, this will be potentially the final here. We've seen Matchpoint win 2 games in a row, despite this last game being so close. And Frog Isle will be where they take to the battle.
If tinyFetus hit that Dragon Punch, that could have been such a different game. That would have been a 2-man swing if he could have picked somebody up and not died himself. But they're going to have to see if they can figure it out in this last potential effort here on Frog Isle. This is a very strong match point map here, especially with their Ruckus, with their Maldamba. I'll be surprised if they don't prioritize those two on Frog Isle here.
How can you not? I mean, taking Maldamba third in your second part of your draft here with your second 2 after Xenosy, and it just seemed like it paid off so many dividends, not just from a viewer perspective, but in the game, it forced a lot of things. That last fight, he hit Cacanuck with a really early stun, forced her to ice block right away. When she gets out, she doesn't have ice block in for a few seconds, so she's like, all right, I can't aggress the way I want to.
Yeah, those were absolutely
Look at that. Second pick.
Shaolin picked up. This is a power pick like none other for Matchpoint. The Evie snagged as well. Shaolin taken away from stolzey this time. doesupz going to be on that. Cassie likely again, and Droxus is still on the board. SuhhhKyle was very, very effective on that. Drogos was very effective. Those were the top 2 damaging characters in the game, was the Drogos and SuhhKyle's Androxus.
And now it seems like Androxus is not even on the table. But I love Xenosy taking that away. But I also think it's part of Matchpoint's brilliance. Like, everyone's considered Makoa the best tank in Paladins right now. And the fact that they don't even need Makoa on their team. They'll take WarDoom on Fernando. They'll put Smidgen onto the Ruckus, and now Xenosy's like, all right, well, we got to take Ruckus, even though maybe that's a little bit of a weird pick here. Has some decent synergy. Could depend on their healer, though. And Matchpoint, grab the Fernando and the Victor. What do you think about that?
Going to be interesting here. Fernando and Victor, obviously WarDoom. The doors are open once again.
Welcome, my friends, to Mass. Let us all have our scripture.
Praise be.
Leaves for everyone, please. Pass the leaves.
Pass the leaves around. Praise be to the one true leader, Grover. Bless up, my friends.
Bless up, my friends. Grover, back in the game.
I don't know, man.
Oh,
I don't know. He hasn't even gotten his buff yet.
I'm excited.
I am too. Wow, Tooney gonna be playing.
What?
Papa Grove Street. It's been a while.
And it's been a while since I've been running in this realm.
Wow.
And I'm throwing axes.
We can keep that going all
We really could.
Day
Don't
here.
get me on my Creed, too,
Tooney,
man. I can
Tooney,
just kill that one.
Pulling out the Grover for the first time in a long time. Exalotus on Makoa, Cacanuck on Drogos, SuhhhKyle on Shaolin.
Redux just correcting me, saying that's stained.
Stop making.
I'm saying I can go Creed too. They have a very low tremolo on their voice.
There's
okay,
like 8 bands that sing exactly like that.
Exactly. Nickelback can go there as well. I can do all of that. But Grover hits a tree for all things considered on his first axe thrown in Paladin's competitive scene in what feels like months. The Vine though will reposition him. Great heal coming out from Tooney, and WarDoom though will slay Exalotus, and this tinyFetus does not look any bigger than a baby at this point. Ruckus goes down despite the emitter and the healing from him. doesupz will slay him, and SuhhhKyle will finally get an answer on the stolzey, but Matchpoint clearly in the victory spot here.
I love you, Grover, but I don't know that he was the answer in this situation. Gonna hit him with that young,
comical, man.
Hot, fresh emote here. It is comical at this point. Maybe they're just going for style. I don't know that Xenosy is necessarily giving up with this draft. They're still making the effort going in the ice block to outweigh that cripple, but Cauterized very effective here against Grover. We haven't get to see this guy in a while. He's landing a lot of damage right now.
Yeah.
Big chunk there onto Evie as well. Good area denial as he does not have to reload. Grover can just continuously lay down pressure. But as you see, only 350 damage up close is not super great at landing high damage at a close range, despite having to be in the fight to heal.
That's right. 72% on the board for Matchpoint. Keeping it pretty even is Xenosy, despite all of these kind of Grover memes going on and jokes that we're having here and Stain that we're singing. But it seems like that the tree has not yet found his rhythm. It's a hard thing to ask of somebody to play Grover in the competitive scene against the best team in North America. He hits the beat. He knows he's dead, dude.
Come on, bro.
He knows he's dead. Grover is... Nick, talk to me. Okay, so how do you make this pick work? You go for Grover. What are they thinking, and how can they make it work given what he's got to work with right now before the buff?
Honestly, man, given like they might actually just be trolling here. It's not it's a good pick in terms of area denial against things like Kinessa when he can just continuously lay it down. the fire. They have the double frontliner. Grover, good at just passively healing. Very good at comps that want to just burst you down as the whirlwind ultimate. Going to provide so much healing unless you get one-shot mechanics like Dragon Punch thrown into the equation. Grover's ultimate healing is going to be able to outweigh most any DPS.
That's right. And then when Cauterize comes
you
through,
could out-heal a Hexafire.
I don't think. Yeah, I actually think he could. Depends on the target
It's
though,
insane.
and when it starts, because there's that little pre-hit delay. There's a pre-delay for when his
fully
ultimate
wound
starts.
up.
So if Exafire kind of gets the jump on a Sky or an Evie, he may not be able to catch her alive. But definitely for those high health pool targets, he's going to keep the Fernandos. He's going to keep the Makoas alive on his squad. Now Grover's still alive. He's got an ultimate. Let's see exactly what ends up coming of it. But you see it is. There is. You might as well just not shoot at this point. No Cauterize is available. He is going to keep that alive. It's essentially a dome shield where you just can't shoot anything from outside of it. And even inside of it, it is just that effective of healing.
Yeah, the output is insane. It's been a while, so forgive me if my number's off, but I believe it's somewhere in the neighborhood of 2,500 a second, so that's pretty much a full HP pool for most of the champions per second, but it is affected by Cauterize, so that's the big drawback to Grover, is that you can get that 90% online, and it's basically a dead ult.
250 per second it would turn. And you know what? That's not bad. But for your ultimate, what you're bringing a lot for this champion to do, that's going to be really countered. Right, exactly. It's not great, and that's where I think the conversation comes in as Matchpoint pushes this through, Nick. You know, moving into Season 1, I know a lot of the viewers here just getting into the Paladins competitive scene, maybe picking up the game, linking their accounts, want to play. You know, items are going to have to, be looked at too, and it could change the way Grover comes into play, especially if Cauterize gets a bit of a tweak, and I know that's one of the items they've been talking about a bit.
Definitely. Why Grover? His healing is not bad, in regards to other supports. The thing is, all the supports are pretty heavily countered by Cauterize in the late game, because 90% healing reduction basically makes them useless. So then it comes down to, you have to ask yourself, what else does this support bring? And on Kusqt, he's serving up hot noodles. He's serving up the Dread Serpent. All kinds of team fight crowd control stuff, whereas Grover is literally healing.
Yeah.
That is pretty much it. His damage, like we saw, isn't that great when he's in the fight. When he's in there healing, he's not going to be doing very scary damage. That will change slightly in OB40. We'll have to see if it has the impact that we're hoping.
Little more health, a little more of the axe damage, but man, that was a targeted kill if I ever saw one. Kusqt takes down Cacanuck, but tinyFetus and Exalotus wrap things up here. Smidgen on his Evie. He loves this champion. He's played it forever. A nice no-scope shot. Turns around, walks away. Might as well have moonwalked after that because he was styling on him. And you see here the long-range shots again, applying pressure and forcing them to turn to the left when he knows his whole team is coming on from the other side.
Here we go in overtime. Matchpoint are returning here. They have what it takes to win this fight. Stolzey goes down. SuhhhKyle with a great planted, able to take him out. Still sitting in overtime. Double kill for doesupz, doubling down for the triple. Can he make it? The quadra rolls forward into battle, wants to find it, reloads.
That's what you do for your teammate, bro. They could have easily killed that one. They had 3 members right there. WarDoom could have got that. They let doesupz get the quadra. That's what I like to see.
That's team synergy.
That is team synergy, man. You don't take somebody's quadra or penta when it's like there's no need to do it. And I love that they gave that to doesupz. He's playing. He deserved it on that Cassie. And now 99% for Xenosy, looking like a faint dream again, unless tinyFetus can do something, and not with Evie's shot coming through, hitting so much damage, like bringing out the big guns. More like going back to base, buddy. Tooney gets slayed, and Smidgen gets a double, looking for one more as the wormhole blink is complete and the capture point is secured for Matchpoint.
Stolzey running out to zone on this Victor, just trying to dismount everyone, buying his team as much space as possible here as Matchpoint look to close out this game and this set against Xenosy. A good effort from the Evie's Winter Classic team right now, but they're struggling to get off the ground with these second-rate picks. No offense, Grover.
Yeah, and you talked about it, Nick, maybe being a troll as Stolzey just cleans up in the background, but that would disappoint me a bit. I think if they were actually trolling and weren't trying their best here, if they got that thrown off by losing the 3-3 to Matchpoint when they had their chance, I don't know. That doesn't say a lot for me about the team synergy. They've added some new pieces, but you got to be willing to go through the tough times to get to the good times as a squad. And Smidgen, his present is the ability for him to go off the map.
It's a gift for Xenosy. I think I see the metaphor.
There it is. Grover was a gift for them, and so he's like, all right, here's a gift back.
Well, alrighty then, Barrage.
Did he have Blink up?
He had Sora up.
Oh, he did.
And he was trying to ice block it preemptively, I think was the idea, and he did end up getting the knockback hit from Fire Spit there. Pressure coming out on a SuhhhKyle grenade. Gonna confirm that kill. stolzey moving forward on the Lone Wolf.
And that was pretty nice by stolzey as well. Uses one barrage, waits, goes around the side, throws the grenade, gets the extra bonus damage that Victor gets off of marked targets who get hit by the grenade, and then just goes straight into iron sights, that aim down sight that Victor has. The rugged Russian is bringing so much damage, and especially behind the hands, the keyboard, the mouse of stolzey himself. There's the gift. Can he give himself one of life this time? And he will. And they'll all group up next to Kusqt to get some healing and get a little bit of that boosting before they decide to push this through. 36 seconds and counting.
Struggling to get their feet under them. Have to rely on Smidgen here to get a pick. Smidgen going up into Sori. Wants to get in there. Doesn't have Ice Storm available just yet, but he gets into the back line. Wormhole's out. Here comes the Dread Serpent and the Heat Haze.
Smidgen! All 4 shots landing onto the Ruckus, and there's no chance for him now. It's all about the Shaolin. Great cover. I love how he didn't go for distance. He went for cover there, and that's a great ultimate. It's going to make the Makoa feel very, very hesitant to run near him, allow him to blink up and heal if he needs to, and all 3 members of Matchpoint still alive, focusing him down. Exalotus gets 1 pop from the Ice Staff, and he knows he needs 1 more. Smidgen can blink in and maybe finish it off. And look, Exalotus says, come over here, why don't you? stolzey's around the corner, banks off the grenade and slays the Makoa, looking for 3 here.
Oh.
Savage is stolzey, but so is SuhhhKyle, saying what's up, and defense successful.
Triple kill
for Xenosy.
for SuhhhKyle. Shutting it all down, saying Matchpoint, we're not done yet. Gets his team on the board as we head into the 3rd and potentially final round here. We've seen Xenosy turn it around before. 97,000 damage. Lone Wolf leading the pack by about 30,000. stolzey just ripping into these tanks, getting a lot of free poke as we saw him just peeking his head out over the stairs, getting the work done, holding down, regenerating, rinse and repeat here.
Man. stolzey playing Victor like Victor should be played. You know, we haven't seen Victor top the damage charts in a long time, Nick.
Yeah. He's going to have the Evie on his team. No real flank pressure is why he's kind of able to do this. Combination that with a lot of easy to targets to hit the Grover, the Makoa. Grover may as well be another frontliner, just another big body around the tanks. Force stolzey to land that grenade on, the barrage on, all of that damage is going to be very easily confirmed on these 3 beef squads.
Huge riff on the Dragon Punch as well. Smidgen just blinks up into the air to avoid it, and it's so hard to see where he's going to go there, especially considering he's got Wormhole. And so that is a wasted ultimate. But Xenosy, the Drogos, he's already got it back. 52% for the Dragon just after using it at the start of the round. So this Dragon Punch could have an effect towards the later end of these fights. WarDoom over on the side and gets him low for doesupz, who disengages the Ruckus before he decides to go handle the 2 over here. Spring has come. Great bait by the Grover. Cauterize is not effective enough to go ahead and tackle both of them. SuhhhKyle gets taken down by Smidgen, and doesupz still on the rampage, looking to finish off the Grover. Now he wants 1 more. Smidgen, it's his turn to get a little piece of the action. He blinks back to where he was, and Matchpoint, having lost so much already, end up going and winning this fight, eventually getting 42% and counting on the point, and the zone begins.
They're so good at it, especially with stolzey on this Victor. He's able to get just 1 little tick of that assault rifle will dismount a member of Xenosy, preventing them from getting back to the point. Great bait here, buying some time. No one on the point currently for Matchpoint. They're very focused on winning the fight before they're worried about capturing the point. It could come back to haunt them if they're unable to do so. Exalotus is finding the first pick on the Matchpoint, but a quick answer back is stolzey and Smidgen.
That'll be the end of it for the Grover. Over the air, stolzey goes with a grenade, and that is the end. 91,000 healing for Kus, 118,000 damage for stolzey, and overall, a 1 set, a 1 game for Matchpoint as they move into the finals, with Xenosy having to bow out here at the semis.
A dominant performance for pretty much everyone on Matchpoint, but the thing here to mention is that Xenosy, they held their own. They almost took that game. If they played it just a little bit smoother there in the final round on Frozen Guard, they could have taken it. 77,000 damage on Cacanuck, 73 for SuhhhKyle there. Still having a good impact, even though they look like they were going for a little bit of style points here with the Grover pick.
Yeah, Grover pick was very interesting, very good for viewers and for the casters as well. Us were just so entertained by that at the beginning of the game. But it's time to see where these teams will be facing off now. Obviously, Matchpoint, they're in the finals. But we've got one more semi to bring to you all, and that will be Team Eager versus Astral Authority. And Nick, talking about how we look forward to AGG versus Astral Authority, I am so excited to see Eager versus Astral Authority here because I think this game could be a lot closer than people think.
Yeah, it's been a long time since these two teams have clashed. Astral Authority, a very different team. They've never clashed before. You know, the closest that Astral Authority got to Eager was AGG in the Gauntlet phase. Maybe they've been scrimming, but it'll be interesting to see how Eager responds to this new challenger.
Well, there are a lot of challenges in life, and that's why me, the Hi-Rez team, everyone around, Nick as well, we'll throw Nick in there, like to give back to help go against some of those challenges that you're happening. And you know what? It's a giveaway here in Twitch. Go ahead and hit ! giveaway. You get yourself a link that will show up, and you can enter your info on Gleam to win 800 crystals. On YouTube, you take that from the description and you put it in the browser. And you know what's even more hype, Nick?
What's that? Getting
your free stuff by linking your account on Twitch and Hi-Rez. And that's the little link that you got to follow. Link your Twitch and Hi-Rez accounts here. HiRezStudios.com/link, and you'll be able to get free stuff. We've given away like 130 Radiant chests, 180.
210 chests today?
Chests today, 20 full kit Troublemaker Evie skins, epic skins, and there's probably more. I'll let you know what we give away next when we do it. Make sure you link your accounts before then. And as always, we will see you guys back in just a moment for semifinal number 2.